Hey guys, welcome back. Andrew here with Ambient Endeavors, and today we're taking a look at the Blackstar TV-10B, a 10-watt EL34 powered Class A tube amp that leans into those mid-range forward British tones and textures. And I imagined that this amp would have some great crunch and overdriven sounds, but what surprised me right out of the gate was its dynamic response and feel, and the touch sensitivity that you get with that Class A design and the British leaning circuit. So let's check that out here, how you can go from clean to mean relatively easily by just changing your pick attack. One thing I really love about the TV-10B is its simplicity and its straightforward design that allows you to just keep moving whether you're in the studio or on stage. You've got a master volume and a gain control that work in tandem to give you the right balance of clean tones or overdriven saturation. You've got a tone control that lets you get darker or brighter depending on your guitar choice or your taste. And then you've also got a single knob reverb that allows you to add some ambiance and add that effect if you want. It's powered by an EL34 power amp tube and an ECC83 preamp tube. And at 10 watts, it can get loud, but you can also dial it back with that gain and master control to get some really awesome, quieter tones in the studio or at home. Let's hear some cleaner tones now and lean into that onboard reverb, which is a beautifully voiced digital reverb that just adds some nice dwell and dimension to your playing. I'm going to be playing a Jennings Guitars Voyager Deluxe with McNelly wide range pickups, and we're miking up the cab here with an SM57, running it onto a Warm Audio 273 preamp. Check it out. There's a really nice range of gain in this TV-10B, from those sparkly clean sounds through rich warm overdrive and into some higher gain sounds with the drive all the way up. You don't quite get into those JCM 800 style tones, and with the single tone control you can't quite do the tone sculpting for like a mid-scooped type high gain thing, but it will definitely send you into some rich saturated distortion tones, and we're going to check those out now with a Heritage Ascent Plus H150. We're going to utilize the boost function as well to see how that just nudges those overdriven sounds a little bit further when you engage that. Let's check it out. Another important aspect of any amp to me is how it takes pedals, and while the TV-10B retains that British voice and texture throughout, If you set it towards a cleaner setting and throw some effects at it, I think it works really, really well and interacts nicely with those effects to add some coloration, add some, modulation or time-based effects, and give you a really beautiful product. So let's check that out here again with the Jennings Voyager Deluxe, and I'll note the effects that are happening on the screen here. On the whole, the TV-10B head and cab here are a really beautiful presentation. They're nice and compact and lightweight. The cabinet features a V-type Celestion speaker, and it's running at 16 ohms here, as you've got a few different options on the back of the head to run either 8 or 16 ohm speakers. You've also got an effects loop on the back of the amp. You've also got a foot switch jack on the back to connect either a 1 or a 2-button switch that allows you to remotely engage or disengage the boost and or the reverb function. Finally, you've got a speaker emulated output on the back that comes after the power amp section and allows you to send your signal right into a PA system or a DAW without the need for a speaker cabinet and a mic setup like that. So we're going to compare contrast the SM57 tones with that speaker emulated tones. And while I don't think it would beat out a well-mic'd cabinet, I think it's really nice to have in a pinch or for convenience, and especially if you have the ability to do some kind of tone shaping or massaging after the fact, it could definitely work for recording or live purposes. So that's the Blackstar TV-10B, and for someone who doesn't really have a bunch of the Marshall leaning British sounds in my collection here, it's been really fun to play this the last few weeks in the studio. It's kind of scratching the itch for me of that specific British sound that gets you into the Plexi territory at a really manageable volume and with some nice features. I love the onboard reverb. I love the fact that you get the drive and the master control to be able to kind of throttle and fine tune your volume and your saturation, and just a really nice presentation that's still fairly approachable in terms of price point. If you've got any questions about the amp or anything you heard or saw here in the video, drop them below in the comments. If you're new to the channel here, hit subscribe below so you can stay up to date on future videos here, and thanks for watching.